There is some developing news. I would call it news. I wouldn't call it evidence yet. We need to look into it. So come on in, grab a drink, whatever your tipple, or you can drink water. Welcome to Aldon's Reviews and True Crime. The developing news is we had a witness approach one of the media companies, that is GB News. They're quite big now. I do quite like them myself. They are, could I say, right wing, but not really. They speak common sense, a lot of common sense. They're not afraid to speak their mind, and they're not afraid to question big organisations like the BBC, the big news companies, the newspapers. Well, let's delve in. So, if you just watch this video, this man, out of the blue, after 18 years, decides to suddenly just approach GB News. It all looks very odd to me. See what you think. Watch the video here.
Ground looking around those dilapidated buildings where the prime suspect Christian Bruckner is said to have a connection, and where potentially that key forensic evidence could be to finally link him, their prime suspect, to the disappearance and murder of Madeline MaCann. But it is as we were leaving that search area in Italia, a couple miles away from here, that we spoke to a man who came up to us and he wanted to speak to GB News, called Ken Rouse, who was saying that the German and Portuguese authorities were in completely the wrong area because he had met with that suspect, Christian Bruckner, and a potential alleged accomplice 1 week before Maddie went missing. Here's what he said to us earlier today.
He introduced me to Christian, told me it was his best friend. And we invited him, come and have a drink with me and his accomplice, because I was friendly with his accomplice, who we took food to help him and his children. And then he started to cry and confess that he was going to get involved with Bruckner to take a child from Pride de Luz, which I just thought was, crazy to hear that. And he told me he'd done all the planning, Christian knew what he was doing, and I just said, you want to stay away from these people. Stay the hell out. And he cried that he needed the money to get out of this country with his children and his family, and that's why he was getting involved with Bruckner to steal a child. So, Bruckner was coming out with his cronies, and they was going to stay at a property at a house in a speech. Now, that property is the last place where Bruckner stayed, because the person who owned the house went back to Germany, so he was left on his own there with the accomplice who I was camping with. And the bottom line is that's where they need to be searching. For over 18 years, I've pressed the police, I've told them, and all they can do is blame one another for not passing this information on. So that's why I've turned up today, because I am sick to death of it going in one ear and out the other. I'm sick to death of the Portuguese saying the English have not sent us any information, and I'm sick to death of Scotland Yard lying to me.
I don't know what you thought, but I thought, first of all, this man needs body language experts. Are there any out there? I can use my judgment on what I think and I feel, my experience with people and what they're saying and what they're expressing. Some people don't show anything, do they? You can't read much. What do you think? Put down in the comments what you think. I personally think he's lying. I don't know for sure. I think there is something not quite right. There is something going on with this man, or he's been paid by somebody. I've said in a previous video that you can pay certain people or companies to reverse bad publicity about yourself. Would this be the case? This is alleged, but could he be paid by the MaCanns to say these things? So he said that he knew somebody who said they were going to be involved in the kidnap of Madeline. and Brockner would have been involved because he is a friend or a colleague of this gentleman that this witness was speaking to. Why did this witness approach GB News and not approach the police? He said he approached the police, but surely they wouldn't just ignore him. So did they look into this witness? Look into the type of person. I'm sorry if you're watching, but just look into the type of person you are. And then we don't know, you see. We don't know whether you're telling the truth. But we need to look into you to see how you tick. See if there's any history going on of this type of thing. But it's just strange how you waited that long and the police have just ignored you. So you said you spoke to somebody who said that they were friends with Christian and he was planning, or somebody was planning, to kidnap basically Madeline. Surely the police wouldn't ignore that. They'd keep an eye. At the time, they would they'd say, oh yeah, him, and then they go and fetch him from there, but they didn't. Didn't happen. Don't you find that strange? All the police forces? Yeah, very odd. That's the big point for me that swings it as to, and I'm sorry if you're watching, witness, that's the thing that swings it for me, that I don't believe you, but it's got to be investigated. Surely from now. So it's come out from now what you've said. So it's got to be investigated. So your history, everything else, and you'll be glad to know that it is. But will it? I don't know. How odd. Maybe it's part of the plan. Looking in the wrong place, he said. So if he points them in the right direction, will they find these bones? I think people seem to think after 18 years there'll be a body. It's not embalmed, it's not frozen, the body isn't frozen, so you're not going to find anything apart from bones. Unless I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. So I just think it's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. It's like they're just pointing, they want to, somebody wants to pinpoint Christian, the evil wrong'un in my mind. They just want to pinpoint this murder, kidnap on him. And although he's capable of many things, probably, I don't think he did it. What do you think? Put down in the comments again what you think. It's just crazy, isn't it? What is going on? I see the GB News have jumped on this, but that's it. There doesn't seem to be anything further happening. This is when the polygraph tests come in, the body language experts, although it's not submissible in a court, the body language, the polygraph isn't, is it? It's only said to be 97%, but it can make a mistake. That's the problem. Just bizarre. Just gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. Will anyone else come forward? All we've got is his word for it. What's the trouble? There isn't any evidence. It's just hearsay of, oh, somebody said. So now they've got to trace this other person that said it. And what else do you think that they can do? Or is it just to sway opinion? Really, I don't know. Let's watch this space. See what happens from now. And we'll go for it. That's all we can do. Anyway, I do want to discuss other cases, so I will get on. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. This one's not attracting much interest. My previous video on this subject isn't attracting a lot of interest, but thank you for watching, and take care, and as always, don't have any nasty dreams. Thank you.